Neeta Ragoowansi, and I am the president of Music Managers Forum US and International Music Managers Forum, as well as a global co-chair of Women in Music. As president of IMMF US, it's the 32-year-old trade association for artist managers and self-managed artists. So my main role is to help run that organization and focus on our three pillars, which are advocacy, education, and networking, and provide that support and resources in those areas. But we sort of look at the larger picture of it all, which is sort of feeding into the infrastructure of our whole music industry ecosystem, and really for making sure we have a strong infrastructure for artist managers. And that really means that, for example, we're here at California because the music tech companies that help support artist managers in their work help bring more revenue or fan engagement to our artists or what have you, that if we don't support that infrastructure, those tools, those services for our artist managers, that it's going to not help our managers in their businesses and careers. And so my role is that I'm here to help lead the charge in terms of making sure that we build a very strong infrastructure and an ecosystem for a sustainable business for artists and for the artist managers who are running the artist businesses. I came to talk about how artist managers are sort of the new powerhouse of the music industry, that they are the decision makers, how they are the responsible parties in making the growth strategies and guiding strategies of their artists, and that where often managers weren't sort of recognized as such, that it's more and more increasingly important for managers to be recognized as being that ultimate resource that is both great for tech companies to engage with managers, to learn in their beta testing, in their pilot studies, how they develop their products, how they grow, needs to have that sort of feedback that's coming from the artist management community. I came here to make sure that our tech companies are know that they have a partner in us, that we're there to put managers in front of them and connect them to the very folks that can be their next pilot tester or beta testers, and to be supportive about maybe taking the best of the services out there to our communities. The most striking point, I think it is that very thing I was just saying about artists being power brokers. I did two different panels today, so it was two different takes on things. The first one was where I was moderating a panel about how we can get more fair remuneration for artists. And that was talking to companies from Deezer to Sabam. And it was a beautiful thing to talk about some of the innovation that is happening inside of Deezer, for example, that is helping to deal with the fact that we have 150,000 songs being uploaded daily into DSPs, and that it's really challenging. 20% of those are tracks that are generated from AI. And it's really challenging to our artists to find that remuneration when they are dealing with AI companies, right, that they're competing against, that there's already too much quantity of tracks being uploaded, and then on top of it to have non-human generated tracks is just adding more flooding and of the content into these platforms. And so it was great to hear about what Deezer's trying to do to tackle that challenge, and that they're tagging AI content, and that they're looking for solutions. And it's very refreshing to hear that the DSPs are doing that. There's so many great, strong points around that, but that was important to me to learn today on that first panel. On the second panel, it was important for me to hear, not just hear, to be part of a discussion that focuses on how to build better, keeping artist managers in mind and getting their feedback into what works. And for me to be able to make sure I convey to to tech companies that that they need to build things that will save the time and money of the managers as they work with their artists, and making sure that I got that point home, which I think I did. It is not my first time here at California, but I keep coming back because this place is where we have all our great innovators in the music tech space. And as I mentioned earlier, it is so important to make sure that we're constantly connecting the best services, the cutting edge services that can bring real value to our artist management community and to our artists. And so I keep coming back to learn, to find out what's the latest, greatest. I love seeing the startups and hearing them do their pitches and getting that sort of advanced, first eyes and ears upon the latest developments. I love working with a lot of the startups to give them a bit of advice on where I think they can go for my 30 plus years in the music industry. It's like I love to be able to come here and engage and see if we can work together and collaborate on building some real valuable tools and services for our artists. These kinds of events are very important for the music industry because it is through engagement, communication, networking, relationship building. I love the intimacy in a certain sense of this particular conference. It's large, but it has enough of an intimate feel. There's a lot of great engagement, and it's important so that we can start to really create great collaborations and learn from each other and have that knowledge sharing that is important to figure out how we can build better together, build our businesses, build those services. And it's just important to be coming and showing up at these places for that knowledge sharing. Mainly. That one word that describes California is transformative, because I show up, and I leave a slightly different person with a slightly different vision, a slightly different level of inspiration to want to go in a different direction, in a better direction, each and every time I come.